Amber Heard doesn't insult Johnny Depp, wants to get his money back. In a highly contentious case involving a wrongful conviction against her former husband Johnny Depp, who she competed against at the beginning of this year, Amber Heard filed an appeal with the court in the German city of Virginia. The 36-year-old Heard filed an appeal in the previous month and said that the use of certain of her therapeutic notes, for which she gave her consent to Depp's use, led to an unfair procedure. Notations were disregarded by Virginia Judge Penny Ascaret. In April, Depp received $1,035 million in a lawsuit filed after his legal team convincingly argued that an article by Heard in the Washington Post accusing her former husband of domestic violence was defamatory. And the name Depp didn't really fit in there, but by taking into consideration their relationship and the Roscoes that supported it, it was obvious to whom the article was referring. Then, a story about the use of sexuality appeared in him. Now, in a 68-page document dated at the beginning of August, Heard's attorneys write that the court necessarily embellishes awi przysajic rozpadazeni kilku przypadkow, wk torich Heard zgoja ziankani si nad depemlik arzowi. They stated that similar zanadbania could not exist because other parties to the dispute are not in a position to submit their cases to the court. In the event that this is not overturned, the first instance court's order as well as the concurrent filing of documents pertaining to domestic violence orders sent to workers for the Department of Health and Welfare hinder the execution of another domestic violence orders udowodnienia charges and pravdepodobny znich sijdoska saniasi, they continued. Furthermore, they suggested that Depp's pozu should not be submitted to the court because his victory had already been overturned by another court. Ta sprawa roni ni pauna trafi du stu, ponyawa eni stju estwierdzi, Depp wilakrotni zncac nad Heard, nepazali pronasi Heard, odnosk si duorzaksenia bridi. Additionally, her legal team argues that the proceedings taking place in Fairfax, Virginia, should actually be taking place in California, where the Masons used to reside. Virginia, where the Washington Post servers are located, was a completely unwelcoming forum without a connection to Depp or a meaningful connection to his beliefs, as we read in the announcement. Depp wasn't always loved back then. Defend against my ex-clumsy wife's actions. The legal acting team also filed an appeal in this case, claiming that the total number of slanders against Heard, for which she was charged, was BDNA. His attorneys penned the following in their statement of support: Zdecidowani korzystny werdykt IPR zysajic w sprawitich trz z nisawed sich estwierds, OK torich moa and Jigo skards, w penny usperwidlowi. All complaints regarding the Odwoni will be addressed by a group of lawyers. Depending on which legal team will be handling this case, Depp or Heard will be able to submit their case to the current Supreme Court.